recording, when I will get the document, when I should give exam. All these questions will be answered slowly and slowly because there are a lot of crowd here. So there is a chance I might skip some of the questions. So let me concentrate on explaining you the things. Later on, I will give you a chance to write me messages. Okay, if you want to speak also, you can speak to me. But at least for now, please be silent. Okay, and I apologize for the delay. Okay, and sorry for the delay, but this is first day, so it happens. Okay. So actual changes to CCIE exam format. Okay, you all must be remembering earlier it was CCIE Security version 5. Those who are new for CCIE Security should know that this is version 6. Okay, and for attempting CCIE Security Lab exam, you should first get yourself qualified with one important module, that is implementing and operating Cisco Security Core technologies. That is Cisco Security Core technologies for okay 350-701. Here in this qualifying exam, once you finish this qualifying exam, this is actually CCNP Security Core module. So once you finish this exam, you are eligible for CCIE Security Lab exam, and this is not termed as, okay, you can say this is a CCIE Security written exam, you can say, but it is not a special module. It is part of CCNP Security, and if you do one more module in CCNP Security, then you will also become CCNP Security. And the validity of this module is 3 years. Those who have attempted for Security version 5, they know that if they give CCIE Security written exam, then it was valid only for 18 months. So you are lucky now, all those who are planning for version 6, they have to qualify this exam, that is implementing and operating Cisco Security Core technologies, that is core. And when you qualify this exam, when you pass this exam, written exam, can go up to 3 years. But anyway, my suggestion is don't wait for 3 years and give the CCIE Lab exam. You have the opportunity, you can plan it out fast, 1 month or 2 months maximum, and give the exam, because there is an announcement that Cisco might change the version again. Okay, still it's under review. They'll declare it somewhere in April, and they might implement in between May to July. Okay, that's the period. But anyway, at present you concentrate on the existing version 6. Now, what are the changes they have come out with in CCIE exam format? They have come with a new module, that is design module. Now, this module is very important module. Now, this module is similar to what you have, given in SCORE, but, or you can say we can relate this design module with CCT. Okay, it's a smaller version, or you can say it's a shorter version. It's a basic version of CCD. Here you will be getting a question. Okay, you'll be getting diagrams. You can go through the diagrams. You can read the question. You'll get a supporting email. Okay, let me show you a sample email that they might send. So this is a sample email that somebody is asking, hi Mario, and so. Then he's finding out which VPN technology support optimal multicast routing, just an example. And there will be options given. Okay. Secondly, you will be having a supporting diagram. You have to go through the diagram, and then you have to read the email, and then you have to answer this question. Okay. The only problem with this design module is you can't go back. Once you select the answer and say next, the first question get locked. Now you must be thinking, why it get locked? See, it is simple. Like if you give score module also, when you finish the question, you go ahead, the question get locked. Okay, you can't go back and give the answer because there is in design module there is something which is when you go after 10 question, 11 question, you will see you can find the solution for the first or second or third question. So Cisco don't want you to go back and correct yourself. So once you give the question, once you give the answer, that's it. So if you have the design module in your hand before going for the lab and you know the answers, then you can finish this design module in say 30 minutes. But I suggest you should take at least minimum 1 hour to finish design module rather than showing them that you are expert, you already know all those things and they might doubt it. So design module is 3 hours, okay, module, and it is clocked. Clock means when you go there, when you sit on the PC, you read the instruction, everything, you get to see the diagram, everything, and say, okay, let me start. You are ready? Let's start. And when we start, it is 2 hours 59 seconds like that, and then 2 hours 58 seconds. So clock. All web-based questions are there. One way is there. Okay. Suppose you finish. There are total 33 questions. Some say it is 34 questions. Okay. So okay, we'll assume that there are 33 questions you have to resolve, or 32 questions, or 34 questions you have to resolve. You took 1 hour to do that. So what you're going to do with that remaining 2 hours? Nothing. You cannot carry forward these 2 hours into the deploy section. You're not supposed to take that 2 hours into deploy section. The only benefit of these 2 hours will be you can go home early because you saved your 2 hours in resolving the design questions. Okay. Or best is instead of ending the design question, last question or last 2-3 questions, you can go to washroom, can get yourself fresh up, drink tea, coffee, whatever available there. You can drink water and get yourself fresh to go for deploy, operate, and optimize module. This is the only benefit you're going to get. And that will take hardly 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. So once you are freshen up yourself, you end design module and you ask the proctor to start deploy, operate, optimize module. Here, this 5 hours you have to utilize for doing the lab. Some people are experts or they have very good speed. So they finish this module in say 2.5 hours or 3 hours. Yes, there are people who cleared their CCIE Security version 6 lab and they finished their lab in 2.5 hours or 3 hours or 3.5 hours, and they got 1.5 hour or 2 hours for verification. Okay, there are people. So it is not difficult. Let me tell you, it is possible that you finish your deploy, operate, optimize module in 3 hours or 2.5 hours. There is a record. One girl did it in 2.5 hours. Okay. So everything is possible. It depends on your practice. Some people who said, okay, I'm comfortable with 4 hours or I'm comfortable with 4.5 hours, they fail because the lab speed, okay, it lags. Okay, there. So there is a chance that you might take, suppose you are finishing your lab in 3 hours at home, you might take 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes to finish your lab in a real lab, that is actual scenario, actual lab, you'll be taking 3 hours and 30 minutes. So keep in mind, like, that point also that if you're practicing on our rack, it is a little bit, it is faster than what you have in your real lab. So make it a point that if you are finishing here in 3 hours, you're going to finish there in 3.5 hours. And then you will get 1.5 hours for verification. If you don't have time for verification, you're gone. Okay. So design module and deploy, operate, optimize module. Now you must be thinking, where is troubleshooting gone? Troubleshooting is part of deploy, operate, optimize module. You'll be getting some of the questions, some of the tasks for troubleshooting also. Okay, some are basic troubleshooting, like some DNS is wrong, like FC carries a wrong DNS entry. Okay, the DNS IP address is 151.7.200, so they made it 100. So you have to correct it. Earlier we used to have wrong DNS configured on DNAT. Now they have removed that issue, and all those who have passed last 6 months, they never got this issue of DNAT, and it's working smoothly. So I hope this is clear with you that you have to plan it out for design module and deploy. You can easily finish and pass design module, because you'll be getting hardly 33 to 34 questions, and it's easy, and you already know that how to solve it. But make it a point that you also read the emails, you also see the diagram. Don't show them that you already know all those questions. So read the diagram, read the emails, understand the emails, understand the diagram also, and definitely answer those questions. Okay, so let's move on for what are the changes. Okay, and so they have come out with Cisco, they have routers now, switches, ASs are also there. Definitely next generation firewalls are there, like FTD is there, WSA is there, DNAC is there. Okay, so these are some of the devices they have added. Okay, to pass this lab, okay, see, every time there is a mixed reaction, how I'm going to pass. So it is compulsory that you should pass design module. It is compulsory that you have to pass deploy, operate, optimize module. Okay, 60% deploy, best effort, 40% operate, optimize, best effort. That is why it is DOO. Design also is important. Okay, in design you might get partial marking, but at least in DOO you don't have partial marking. You have to finish the task. You have to show them the verification, everything. Okay, so this is a sample score report that you can see in this sample score report of some student. You can see he passed in design. Okay, he attempted design, he passed in design, but for some reason he was not able to finish deploy, operate, optimize properly. You can see there are 5 domains they have written there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the names of those domains are perimeter security and intrusion prevention, secure connectivity and segmentation, infrastructure security, identity management, information exchange and access control, advanced threat protection. So you see, he got very good percentage only in the 5th module, that is advanced threat protection and content security. Then he was a little bit near to 84 or 80% in the first one, that is perimeter security and intrusion prevention, but he was very, very poor in secure connectivity and segmentation. Now you have to keep in mind that there are 5 domains, but if you ask me, there is how many tasks are there in the lab? So the task in the lab is 24 tasks are there, and they are all, these tasks, 24 tasks are part of these 5 domains. Okay, these tasks are the part of these 5 domains. So if you see, perimeter security and intrusion prevention is 48%. It comprises the maximum percentage in your lab. Secure connectivity and segmentation is 7%. Okay, or you can see this slide weightage. Okay, like that. This is the correct weightage. Perimeter security and intrusion prevention is 20%. Secure connectivity and segmentation is 20%. Infrastructure is 15, 25, and 20%. Okay. Now you must be thinking, like, what is there in perimeter security and intrusion prevention? Okay, so these are the focus platforms. ASA is there, FTD is there, and definitely NGIPS is there, because you can see the word intrusion prevention. Okay, so every domain you'll have routers, switches, you'll have like you can see now there's an additional term called ICE. Okay. Now you must be thinking that only Cisco ICE is part of secure connectivity and segmentation. So any task where you have to configure ICE, like task 1.2. So in 1.2 tasks, you'll be making use of ICE for DACR. 1.3 tasks, you'll be making use of ICE, or you'll be using ICE for section 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. So whenever you are using this ICE for any section, it comes under domain 2, that is secure connectivity and segmentation. Okay. So again, in infrastructure security also you will see ICE, ASAs. So if you really want to know what comes under what domain, you can go and take the Cisco blueprint and you can understand, okay, this topic comes under which domain. And then you compare with the task. I'm already having that list. I can give you later on, where you can see which task comes under which domain, because that that is for me actually. When somebody fails, I try to find out exactly where he did mistake in which task, and I can find out, okay, this task is going bad for him, because there are people who have not worked on stealth watch, or there are people who have not worked on SMC, NFC, flow collector. There are people who have not worked on WSA or like that. So there is a chance that you might get confused, or zone-based firewall, not worked on zone-based firewall. So there is a chance that you might get confused and you find it very difficult. Okay. So many times people find section 4 a difficult one, because DNAC is there, NGIPS is there, WSA is there, FireAmp is there. Okay, but anyway, once you start practicing, once you understand, I always tell my students that better you understand the topic, understand the task, and then you do the task. Okay. These are virtual machines and they carry this version. So if you want, I can give you that which ICE version is there in the real lab, WSA 9.2. This is the Cisco blueprint. So I just copy paste here, FMC 6.2, NGIP 6.2, FTD 6.2, like that. Okay. So if you are making your own lab, you can use this versions in your lab. Okay. This is some of the tips. Read the lab and task guidelines, absorb the topology, read all the question, attempt question in sequence, DOO, avoid over verification, avoid enabling debugs, don't change device console access. If cannot solve the task, then move on. Because I have seen people, look, why it's not getting resolved, why it's not getting resolved, and then you waste your time and you are not able to complete your tasks. How many tasks are there? 24 tasks are there. Okay. And the good news is, out of that 24 tasks, 19 tasks is actually where you'll be configuring, and out of that 24 tasks, that 5 tasks is again multiple choice questions. It's very easy, you can finish it out. Okay, it's a multiple choice question. Can you imagine you getting multiple choice question like return, even in deploy, operate, and optimize? Like, it is a troubleshooting question. So I told you, they have not removed troubleshooting, they have kept it in deploy, operate, optimize itself. Okay. So this is a brief this thing. You will get it in Cisco Live also. Cisco has already kept this in their website, on their website. Now let's talk about the topology. You can see the topology. Okay. Now you must be thinking, so big, it's a big diagram. Okay. I can give you this diagram separately in the group also, so that you can have a better view. Okay. Now you must be thinking, how many devices are there in this? So let me tell you, you can make a note also. There are altogether 16 routers are there in this topology. How many? 16 routers. But you don't have to configure each and every router, because we are not doing enterprise, or we are not doing routing and switching. We are doing security. So your goal is not configuring router. These routers are basically used for supporting the whole network, whole topology. Okay. So how many routers are there? 16 routers are there. Okay. 1 to 16. I know it's a little bit sticky. Okay. Anyway, 16 routers are there, and how many ASAs are there? So there are 8 ASAs. Please make a note. 16 routers are there, 8 ASAs. All these 8 ASAs, out of these 8 ASAs, the 4 are virtual ASAs and the 4 are physical ASAs. Okay, out of 8 ASAs, 4 are virtual ASAs and 4 are physical. All ASAs are in single mode. You know what is single mode? Security context mode is single, not multiple. So whenever you're doing active failover, there is one task where you have to do active failover. You have to convert your firewall into multiple mode. If you can see here in the diagram, you have this 2 firewall here, ASA1 and ASA. Here they are asking you to configure active. So I told you, out of 8 ASA, there are 4 physical, ASA 1 and 2. And if you see on the right hand side, you have ASA 3 and 4. Here you will be doing clustering, a topic called clustering. So clustering topic is also there. Active is also there. Active standby is also there. So section 2, I'm not talking about domain. There are 5 domains. In your lab, you have 4 sections. They are all part of any of these 5 domains. 1.2 might be like, it is part of domain 1. It is also part of domain 4. Domain 3 also. Okay. So there is a chance that all this lab diagram is different. Okay. Subnet is different. Okay. It is not similar what you have in version 5. So forget version 5 now. We are dealing with version 6. So don't compare it with version 5. Okay. Just concentrate on version 6 now. Okay. Because many of them don't know what is version 5. So they'll get confused. So we'll just concentrate on version 6 diagram. So how many routers are there? 16 routers are there. 8 ASAs. Out of that, 4 are physical ASAs. 4 are virtual ASAs. All are in single mode. And for your kind information, they are not configured for anything. Like they are blank. Nothing is configured on these ASAs. Nothing. Not a single configuration is there. Not a single IP address is configured. Okay. And they are all in single mode. That means it is your job to configure the IP addresses, the security levels, the name, the routing, everything. It is your job. It is your task to do that. That is why they have kept it blank. In fact, just now I told you, they have also, they want active. So if they want active failure, you have to do security context. And if you want to do security context, then you need multiple mode. So it is your job to do that. So if you don't ask in the group, give me the initial config of ASA, give me the initial configuration of ASA is not there. Nothing is there in the real lab. So forget it. Okay. Now you must be thinking how many switches are there. So there are altogether 2 physical switch. How many? 2 physical switch. Switch 1 physical and switch 2 physical. Okay. Switch 2 physical. If you see the diagram clearly, you will find there are 2 switches everywhere. Switch 1 physical, like you can, if I zoom it out here, you can see one of the switch here with ASA. See, switch 1P, switch 1P, switch 1P. So if you see switch 1P means it's a physical switch. Now you have access to all the devices. All means all. Routers, okay, ASA, WSA, everything, all the devices, except for one switch, that is switch 1 physical. You don't have access, you don't have console access or telnet access or SSH access to switch 1 physical. Why? Because they don't want you to go there. It's not your part of any of the tasks. So why you want to go there? So forget it. Don't go on switch 1 physical. On my rack also this is not allowed. So don't trouble my support team that I am not able to get access to switch 1 physical. Why? Don't ask this silly question. I'm clearly telling you in the session that switch 1 physical access is not there in the real lab also on my rack. So please don't ask access to switch 1 physical. But then we'll be like, okay, then what about switch 2 physical? Yes, you have access to switch 2 physical in real lab also and on my rack also, because you'll be doing clustering. Just now I showed you one diagram. I zoomed it out and showed you 2 ASAs, that is ASA 3 and ASA 4. Can you see here? ASA 1, ASA 3 and 4 is connected with switch 2 physical. This diagram is having a typo. It is switch 2 physical, switch 2 physical, switch 2 physical. Okay. So please be careful. You have access to switch 2 physical to do ether channel bundle, and you have to make trunk to port channel. Once you give the command channel group 1 mode active, you will get port channel. Okay. So it is like switch to physical, you have access, and only for one simple task of clustering and for just creating ether channel, like channel 1 mode active. That's all. You have to go on the interface to do that command. Leave switch to physical. You don't have any other task on switch to physical. Okay. Now you must be thinking, what about other switches? So once again, I remind you, 16 routers, 8 ASAs, 4 physical, 4 virtual, 2 physical switches, switch 1 physical, switch 2 physical. You don't have access to switch 1 physical then. Okay. Now we talk about virtual switches. So yes, you have 4 virtual switches given in the table, but actual speaking, there are only 4 virtual switches in the diagram. In the table, they have given you 4 virtual, sorry, 8. They have given you like 8 virtual switches, but then you don't have anything to do with those switches. You have everything to do with some of the virtual switches. I'll show you. See this. So virtual switches, how many virtual switches are there apart from physical switch? Now you don't get confused, guys. You also have a virtual switch with the name switch 1. See, wherever you have physical switch, it is written switch 1 PA, P-P. Whenever you see switch 1-P means it is physical switch. Okay, whenever you see switch 1, so all your section 3 is around virtual switches. Can you see here? Switch 1. So section 3.1, where you have to go and configure .1x authentication. So for .1x authentication, they have asked you to go and configure switch 1. If you see, there is one more switch, virtual switch. Switch 2 is not there. Switch 3, virtual switch. Here also you have one small task of troubleshooting and finding out there is an ARP access list, and you have one more switch. So switch number 1 is there, switch number 3 is there, switch number 4 is there, 2 is not there, and then you have switch number 7. Please understand. Okay, guys. Yes, guys. It is exactly same, exactly 100% exactly same. Switch 1 is also written exactly what I showed you. Switch 3 is also written. Switch 1 physically is also written exactly same. The diagram is exactly same. Nothing changed. You don't have to. In fact, if you can. If you don't want to see it, so your choice. But I suggest, as a trainer, I suggest you go open the diagram and see the diagram. But you don't have that much time. Don't waste half an hour or 1 hour just looking at the diagram and understanding the IP addressing. No. You are not supposed to waste time looking the router switches, where is the switch? No, that you have to do in advance. Like every morning you have to get up and see the diagram. So you memorize all the IP addressing, you memorize all the routers, where is this router, where is this switch. When you close your eyes for sleeping, you should know each and every router, each and every switch, each and every device by heart. Okay. Of course, I will share this, Said Khan, I will share this diagram with you in the group also, so that you can zoom and see. So now when I zoom it, I can see there are certain devices which are on the top row, like management PC. Now you must be thinking, what is this PC? This PC is very important PC in terms of real lab and on my rack also, definitely. My rack is exactly same, like, you'll get the feeling like, you're doing everything exactly same. So when you go for the real lab, you don't have to, verify even a single interface. You can just go on typing the commands, that's all. Whatever you practice on my rack, exactly same, you'll get it there. So your management PC is very important PC, because from your management PC, you'll be getting GUI, graphic user interface access for ICE, FNC, NG, IPS, WSA, FireM Cloud, Admin, Console, DNAG. Okay. So management PC becomes important. So how many devices you will get? Okay. Let me show you. 1 minute. See, this is my management PC, suppose. Normally you won't enter into management PC in the real lab. You will enter into the main PC where your proctor will ask you to go and sit. Okay. So when I open Firefox on management PC, I'm talking about management PC. So when you open, this is my management PC. So when you open management PC, you can see this bookmarks are being there. WSA, ESA, FMC, NGIPS, FMC, FTD, FireM Console, FireM Admin, SNC, FC, ICE, DNAG. You won't see Eve1 and Eve2. That is only for my rack. But otherwise, WSA, ESA, FMC, NGIPS, FMC, FTD, FireM Console, FireM Admin, SNC, FC, everything will be same. Till here, till DNAG. The bookmarks are exactly. So when you click this bookmark, it will open. When you click this bookmark, it will open. SNC, FC, ICE. When you click the bookmark, it will open. Okay. So you have to just concentrate on the management PC for all the GUI. You have to open management PC. But now you must be thinking, what is the subnet? So management network subnet is 151.7.0/24. Management network is 151.7.0/24. All the devices, all the 16 routers, all the switches, all the devices except ASA are configured for 151.7 network. Even your PC, can you see your PC, QA PC? If you see .211 is given here, if you go down, you can see there is one sales PC. When you see this sales PC also is having an IP address 207 and 208. What is this IP? This is the IP address of 150 subnet. So 151.7.207 is for sales PC. 151.7.208 is for finance PC. So 150 is your management. Now you again, Faisal, okay, why not ASA have same management? Of course, I said all the devices, all the devices. So when you are asking me why ASA is also having the management IP address, but it is not pre-configured. you have to configure that management IP address as per the document, as per the task. Sorry, not document, as per the task. They have clearly told you. They have clearly told you, okay, come on, configure this as a management IP. So they'll give you .53. So they'll tell you this is your IP address of ASA1B .53. So what you have to do? You have to go on the management interface and you have to type interface management 0 by 0 or 1 by 1 IP address 150.1.7.53. This is your job. I told you clearly they are blank. So this is your job. So the question is valid. Why ASAs are not having management IP address? And the answer is yes. They also carry the management IP address, but you have to configure that IP address. That is your job. Okay. But what about other PCs, other devices? They are pre-configured with 150 subnet. Like ICE carries an IP address of 150.1.7.111. Now, always whenever I'm giving a session, whenever I'm training, I tell you to make a note. So just now I told you, make a note, 16 router, 2 physical switches, 4 virtual switches, 4. Okay, 1, 3, 4, and 7. Then I told you 8 ASA out of that. 4 are physical ASA, 4 are virtual. No doubt, you can also go and find out, but then it will take time for you to study the diagram. So don't waste time. Listen to me because you're in boot camp, you're in a session. Just make a note. Everybody should know that 150.1.7 is a common network. Infrastructure network is 5.2.y.0. 5.2. So internal IP addresses between R4 and R12 will be somewhere between 5.2.y. Okay. You don't have to memorize all these IP addresses. No need. But there are certain IP addresses you have to memorize. Why? Because your task is dependent on those IP addresses. You have to configure those IP addresses. So you have to memorize. So I will tell you how to memorize these IP addresses. Very easy. Okay. Very easy. So first thing, remember 100% all the devices carry one. That means they are internally, they can communicate with each other. Like suppose sales PC want to communicate with ICE. He can easily do. Why? Because he is also in 150 subnet, 151.7.207, and ICE is also in 150 subnet, that is 151.7.111. Now, make a note. You have to keep certain IP addresses in your mind. Memorize. Like just now I told you, memorize the Active Directory IP address .200. Memorize the management PC's IP address 201. Memorize the IP address of ICE. I'm talking about 150 subnet. Because you'll be needing this IP address while configuring any connect or SSL VPN. You have to tell your ASA boss for authentication, go to ICE. So my ASA will be asking you like a kid. Oh, you are telling me to go to ICE. Tell me the IP address, man. Layer 3 IP address. Layer 3 information. So I will say, okay, 151.7.111. Come on, go to Active Directory. Oh, what is the IP address of Active Directory? .200. So .200.111.201. Keep in mind. Now you must be telling me like why you should not keep in mind about FNC. It's a bookmark being created. Bookmark. Okay, bookmark. Okay. Now you're telling that ICE is also a bookmark. So why I should remember this? No. While configuring the task, you'll be specifying the ICE IP address to ASA. You'll be specifying ICE about ASA. So you should know the IP address of ASA, like .53 is there, .54 is there, or .58 is there, .59 is there, whatever. You have to tell ICE also about this. Okay. So make it a point that from now onwards, you will memorize the IP address of certain devices. In fact, you have to just remember 2-3 devices. That's all. Active Directory .200, ICE .111. That's all. Management PC. That also if you don't remember, it's okay. Management PC IP address is not important. NTP server, very important. .231. NTP server .231. R1 is NTP server. R1 is NTP server. Okay, clear? So how many devices you have to remember? Active Directory 200. Now you don't have to do anything on Active Directory. That is not your part. You are doing security. You are not doing Microsoft, MCSC or something like that. So you don't have to configure Active. Active Directory is pre-configured with everything. Users, everything is pre-configured. Don't touch it. Don't delete anything. If you do anything, then you're gone. Cisco will kick you out. Cisco will fail you. Why? Because why you touch Active Directory? You don't have any, they're clearly telling you it is pre-configured. Don't touch it. Okay. Now, very important second diagram. It is almost same what you have seen in the lab topology. First diagram is called lab topology. Now you must be confused. Then why they came out with management topology when lab topology clearly says. So you'll see why they have kept management topology, because in the management topology they are telling you or guiding you about Active Directory. Where is Active Directory? No doubt Active Directory is in its place, but then they are specifically telling you, oh boss, this is your Active Directory, this is your NTP. Now you must be confused why they are telling you about this. AD will be pre-integrated with ASA devices. Active Directory, why? See, you have everything to do with ICE and you have everything to do with Active Directory through ICE. Active Directory is going to authenticate for all your section 3. And in case Active Directory is absent, then ICE will. So you don't need integration with ASA, and there is no task where you will be doing integration of ASA and AD. But there is a task where you will be doing integration of ICE and AD. Okay, ICE will integrate, DNAC will integrate ICE, something like that. Okay. So PX grid services are already enabled. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, they are enabled. So they have purposely kept here this NTP server also, because I just now told you sales PC can directly go to R1. Why? Because R1 is NTP server. My sales PC can directly go to Active Directory. Why? Because my sales PC is also in 150 subnet. My R1 is also in 150 subnet. My Active Directory is also in 150 subnet. So if both devices are in 150 subnet, why my sales PC will come to ASA 1B? He can go directly, but no. As per the task, they want this guy means this sales PC to come to ASA via any connect VPN, and then it should go for authentication. Definitely he will be forwarded to ICE, and then he will go to R9, and from R9 he will go to Active Directory. See, they don't want sales PC should go directly, because when I was purchasing a flat or when I was renting a flat, my agent strictly told me, boss, you have to come to me for any queries. Don't go directly to the customer. Don't go directly to the owner. Because see, I showed you the flat. I am your middleman. I am your agent. So please come to me. If you have any question, if you want to do any payment, please go through me. Don't go directly. Okay, otherwise what happens? People, when they meet the owner, they immediately start calling the owner directly and say, we'll bypass agent. Then agent is also very smart. So he will say, no, you can't bypass me. I made you meet. So I don't want sales PC should go directly to NTP server, that is R1. I don't want, I mean Cisco, as per the task. Cisco don't want this should go to Active Directory. So they purposely in this diagram telling you that sales PC will come directly to any connect to ASA 1B, authenticate through ICE, go to R9, and then he will go to Active Directory and NTP. Same way, for another task, if you see another task coming on the right hand side, SSL VPN, that is one of the flavor of remote VPN. They want marketing PC should come directly to the ASA 2B, then go to authenticate with ICE, and then finally go to R15, and from R15 they should go to Active Directory. See, So this is how the diagram is presenting. The AnyConnect task asks to access Active Directory host to configure ASA. But how do we access the ASA from Active Directory host if the management interface in the ASA is not? No, we have to do first the basic configuration. Okay, you will be having a console access. Yes, that is for sure. Console access to all the devices. Secondly, is we will get all the console access for all the devices. All. Your sales PC will also open. Your finance PC will open. Okay, your ASA1B will open. Your ASA11 will open. Console. For console, you don't need any IP, no, guys, right? If I'm wrong, for console, you don't need any IP. Okay, so see, I'm appreciating your questions. I'm just asking you guys. Okay, so you can ask question whatever you feel you can ask. But don't ask the question when the session will end, when the next session will be there, whether I will get recordings or not, how I look. Don't ask silly questions. We'll stick to technical questions, okay, and make things a little bit lighter rather than making it serious. I want you guys to understand the task and not just, I won't tell you just type the command. Don't ask any question. I won't tell you that. Okay, because my experience is no, first you have to understand the task and then you have to solve the task. And those who understand of course, I will be showing all the tasks. I will be showing you 19 tasks in the training. But today is warm-up session. No? So if you join, if I'm joining gym, I'm planning after Ramadan, if I'm planning to join gym, the first day if he gives me 100 kg weight to lift, then what will happen? Tomorrow, next day I won't turn up. Okay. First day he cannot give me lifts to weight, weights to lift. So I'm just warming up. I'm just explaining you the diagram. I'm explaining you how many devices are there, how the topology is going to move, the tasks you have to do, all those things. So first day is a warm up. Okay. Don't immediately rush to the task. I will do the task. Don't worry, but not today. I will first explain you everything. Yes, because see, I know you guys are expert. You can find out all these. Already people have known to this diagram. Already people have studied, but still I want you to understand, because there are some new guys attending for the first time. Security is very much excited to know how things are going to work. Definitely. So I hope you understood the second diagram. Nothing is different from this. Only thing is, like, you will see Active Directory somewhere, you will see ICE somewhere. Okay, but main diagram is the lab topology. Main diagram is the lab topology. Please concentrate on the lab topology. Okay. Now this is the third diagram you have. So how many diagrams I showed you just now? I showed you lab topology. I showed you management topology. This is the third diagram I'm showing you, pod 1. Now you must be wondering what is this pod 1. So there is the physical. No, yes, just to understand. But during the session only, I'll make you explain. Just now I explained you why they have given Active Directory, why they have given ICE next to R9 or R15. I just now told you, because as the task demands that the sales PC should do AnyConnect, come to ASA1B. For authentication, ASA1B will go to ICE. Okay, because you will tell ASA1B, boss, if people come and say, okay, I am sales PC or I am sales user 1, please go to ICE and find out whether he's the right guy. And ICE will say, he is the right guy, sales user 1. What is the password? C capital ISC0123, right? This is the right guy. Allow him to do AnyConnect. So once AnyConnect is done, then he will send the traffic to R9. Then R9 will send it to Active Directory. Active Directory will resolve who is r1.cisco.com. r1.cisco.com is the FQDN of NTP server. r1.cisco.com. You don't have to say go to NTP server, or you don't have to say the IP address of NTP server. You have to say go to r1.cisco.com. So somebody is going to resolve it. That is the Active Directory, and he is going to resolve. He is going to forward you to your NTP server. r1.cisco.com is the NTP server. It is given everything in the table, in the document. Now, come back to this third diagram, pod 1. Now, there is a difference between pod 1 and 11 slash. What is the difference? All these months, all these years, when the Cisco launched CCIE Security version 6, 10% people said we got these interfaces in the real lab. And the ASA interface starts from G0 by 0, 10%. 90% people said no. In our case, the interface was starting from G1 by 1. So this is the only difference that you are going to find in pod 1 and pod 2. Pod 2 by 11 by 12. See, here you see the interfaces are ASA1 and ASA2, not switch. ASA1 and ASA2, ASA3 and ASA4. The interfaces start from G1 by. So I always suggest my students that whenever you go for the exam, what is you have to do? Now, before starting making a script, notepad script, you just go on ASA1 and say show interface IP brief. You will come to know which pod it is. If you see G1 by 1, then this is pod 11-12. So start configuring G1 by 1. If you see 0 by 0, you see what? 0 by 0. I'm talking about physical ASA, not virtual ASA. Please don't get confused. This is physical ASA 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not talking about virtual ASA. So if you see this pod 1, only difference between pod 1 and pod 2 is G0 by 0 is the start interface, not 1 by 1. So 10% people said, sir, this was the case. When I went there, I saw G0 by 0. So I started from G0 by 0. Simple. So my cluster interface in this is for clustering. This is for active. So ASA3 and ASA4, the cluster interface is say G0 by 2. But when it comes to another pod, the cluster interface is different. That's the only difference. Okay. No, this is don't get no. This is not the pod number which you have in the real lab. So, don't get confused. This is just the name of the diagram. Pod 1. So definitely, pod 1 means they will say my rack, my pod starts in ASA, only for ASA. Nothing, no other devices changes. ASA 1, 2, 3, 4. Start from 1 by 1. That's all. And if the pod is 1, then the interface starts from G0 by 0. That's the only difference. Getting it? So how are you going to find out which pod you are sitting in? Simple. Go to ASA1, ASA2, ASA3, ASA4 and say show interface IP brief. You will come to know which pod. If it shows G0 by 0, pod 1. If it shows 1 by 1, so don't remember pod. Just remember the interface, because then you have to start configuring from G0 by 0 or G1 by 1. This is the only difference. So how many diagrams I showed you? I showed you 4 diagrams. Clear? Still you have any doubts? Saeed Khan, you are asking me about the pod. I told you 10% of the people got this pod 0 by 0. But they were not confused because I already told them, boss, if you first thing before configuring or before making a script, always remember script means, again people get confused. What is script? It is nothing but you will be getting GNE similar to Notepad. You just go and type the command of failover, or you have to type the command of active failover, or you have to type the command of active standby, or you have to type the command of clustering, or you have to type the IP addressing, or you have to type the zone-based firewall, or you have to type .1x authentication. All those comes under script. That in my terms it is a script. You can call it command type. Okay, yes. It is true, man. If you see suddenly something new, you will get confused. Then you will start going to proctor and asking the proctor, but then proctors are also, with due respect, sometimes get confused. They are not from security, they are from collaboration, or they are from enterprise. So they'll say, okay, let me check. Oh, you do whatever you think is right. They won't help you. So then you have to be careful. So if you know in advance everything, so all these years, see, I'm an experienced person, so I know all the challenges that people face. In fact, one guy went to drink tea and he came late. So the proctor was asking, why you are so late? Why you are going down? Why you are attending washroom? So he said, bro, I am wasting my time. Why you are worried? I can go anywhere. See, definitely he's not going out. He's going to washroom. Sometimes happen, no? You are feeling very cold. So you're drinking a lot of water. I do like that. Whenever I'm teaching, I drink water. So then people say, oh, I'm not able to hear you. Something is wrong with these microphones. So I said, sorry, wait, I'm drinking water now. Now also I'm drinking water, wait. So just remember, there are a lot of issues or lot of problems that I have made a note when people come and say, like just now, this fellow said, okay, I was confused when I faced this issue in the first time. We will get questions from both pod 1 and no, wait. You're getting confused. Now you'll be getting a question where you have to configure ASA 1 and 2. Now you decide how to start the configuration. So you will see what? The diagram. And when you see the diagram, what you will see in the diagram G0 by 0. So we'll start the question. Oh, sorry. Don't consider the diagram. You will get all the 4 diagrams. Pod 0, pod 1, pod 11 by. You will see the tasks. So how are you going to see the task? So let me just start the document. Okay. So see this task 2.3. Yeah. You have been asked to deploy high availability. So they are telling ASA first, second, and third non-management interface should be declared. And they're telling the management IP address should be .1, .51, and .52 respectively. So here they are not telling you to follow any pod. They are telling boss this IP address to be configured on the management interface. Now you must be wondering which management interface? The management interface which is given on your ASA 1 and 2. Now again you are confused. The trainer told me that you have to see that pod. Yes, of course, see the pod. But then pod is, both the pods are available. Pod 1 is also available pod. So which one? A simple math. Go to ASA. Which ASA? ASA 1 and 2 like this. Okay. Change system. Config T. Clear configure all. On my rack, ASA configuration won't go. So you have to do this clear configure all. Okay. And then you say show interface IP brief. See, what is the interface? G0 by 0. But remember, on my rack, I have started my interface from G0 by 1. In real lab, I told you 90% people got G1 by 1. So, just go and see ASA, man. ASA 1 and 2. If you see 1 by 1, you start from 1 by 1. So 1 by 1, what is 1 by 1? You see here, again, 1 by 1 is what? See the diagram. Which diagram? Pod 90% I don't know. 1 by 1 is what? The interface which is going towards switch 1. 1 by 2 is what? So 1 by 1 is as per the diagram I'll tell you. Come here. See, everything is not given in the task or in the question. Some of them is okay. So always remember when you are practicing 1 by 1, by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, and 1 by 5. Guys, 90% people got 1 by 1. So which interface is 1 by 1? 1 by 1 is the interface which is facing inside. 1 by 2 is DMZ and 1 by 3 is outside. Fix. 100%. Now you are telling me, sir, I got the pod which shows 0 by 0. So 0 by 0, 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3 and 0 by 4. The only difference between pod 1. Now this is pod 1. We start from 0 by 0. So 0 by 0 is inside, 0 by 1 is DMZ, 0 by 2 is outside, 0 by 3 is LAN-based failover, 0 by 4 is stateful failover. This is the only difference. And in case if you get pod 11 by 12, this is the difference. 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and 1 by 5. This is the only difference. Yes, right. Everybody, only 10%. 10% means like, 100 people went for exam or 500 people, 10 people said, okay, man, I got G 0 by 0. So I said, what you did? Simple. I started configuring 0 by 0 as inside, 0 by 1 is as DMZ, 0 by 2 as this thing. And 90% people say we got 1 by 1. So what you did, man? Simple. We did 1 by 1 as inside, 1 by 2 as DMZ, 1 by 3 as outside, 1 by 4 as LAN-based failover and 1 by 5. Got it? No confusion. No confusion. You personally go before making a. Got it? So if I'm making a script like this, suppose I'm making a script for ASA 1 and 2. See this. From where I started, 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3. So what is 1 by 1? It is inside. What is 1 by 2? DMZ. What is 1 by 3? LAN-based failover. What is 1 by 4? 1 by 3 outside. 1 by 4 LAN-based failover. 1 by 5. What is this? Stateful failover. So you see, when I configured failover, what I did? I said 1 by 4 is LAN-based failover. If you see 0 by 0, so in this case, 0 by 0 is inside, 0 by 1 is DMZ, 0 by 2 is outside, so 0 by 3 is your LAN-based failover, and 0 by 4 is your stateful failover. This is the only difference you will do while making a script. See, 0 by 0 is inside, 0 by 1 is DMZ, 0 by 2 is outside, 0 by 3 is LAN-based failover, and 0 by 4 is a stateful failover. This is the only difference. Yes, of course. Clear? I will be giving you tips, guys. Don't worry. Don't get confused. And at the end of the day, you will definitely understand. In fact, I clearly explained you everything. You don't have to worry. Simple is you go and check which pod you got. How? Don't see the diagram. Diagram will be 4 diagrams. One is lab topology, second is management topology, third is pod 1, and the fourth one is pod 211-12. Clear? How many diagrams you'll be getting? 4 diagrams. I will be sending you in this group 4 diagrams. So don't worry about that. Okay. Now, when it comes to doing section, like people confused what to do now. So next session onward we'll be doing this session. Okay. Today was warm-up session. But anyway, I'll show you what we are going to do in the next session. So you can just come prepared. See, in 1.1 is introduction. So 1.2 you do it. Good. 1.1 is introduction. So 1.2 is the start. Now in any connect VPN, they are asking you to do any connect VPN. If you see the diagram, if you see the task. And they're telling boss you should configure inside, outside and management .1.1 and .53. Again, .53 is management. 150.1.7.53. And they have clearly given you in the double quotes the name of the interfaces. In ASA, we always name them, no? Like when we get newborns, we always name. We keep Chunnu, Munnu, we give Bunty, Bubbly, whatever. So same way, naming of the interface in ESA is compulsory. So we give inside, outside, and management. This is recognized name. They have clearly told you do this. Don't do. If you don't do this, your task is gone. If you don't like this word MGMT, still you have to write it down. Okay? If you want to fail, you can write your own name. You can write Salim, you can write Ejaz, you can write Sam, you can write anything if you want to fail. Because naming is on your choice. But here they're asking you to write down exactly the same name which is given in the double quote. So I notice that you are doing any connect, and for that you have to configure the IP address on ASA 1B and 11B. So why not first configure section 2.1? Because in 2.1 they are clearly telling you to do active standby on same ASA. So first, if you do in sequence 1.2, what you will do? You will configure the first IP address, the basic. But later on, when you come for section 2, boss, he is telling you to configure active standby, and for that I have to configure the standby IP address also. My management IP address is .53 for primary and .54 for secondary. So I have to do again? No. So better you do 2.1 in the beginning. Okay. Better you do 2.1 in the beginning only. Why you are wasting your time and energy? So what you are going to do? You are going to configure your ASA 1B and you start your task from 2.1, which is nothing but failover section. They have clearly high available. Active standby, active clustering. Very easy. 2 points in pocket. Okay. So you configure the IP address, you configure security level, everything. Primary also and secondary also. So, for example, suppose you see this diagram. Okay. And now you think of configuring active standby. They have clearly given you in the task the naming inside, outside. Where? This 1.2. Go to 1.2 task. See, they have told edge 1. They are clearly telling you edge 1. They are not telling ASA 1B and 11B. They are telling you edge 1. Edge 1 is having ASA 1B. 1B means virtual, not physical. And 11B is also virtual. ASA 2B virtual. ASA 22B. So altogether 4 virtual ASAs I told you. And they are giving you the primary IP address also, .1.1 and .53. See? So you take this first 2 points from 1.2 tasks. No, I will tell you in the session. Don't ask everything because what happened now, you are just joined the movie. Samir, joking, huh? You just joined the movie and you are asking what will be the end, man? Who is the killer? So what people will do? People will kill you. Okay. I'll tell you, don't ask for videos, huh? Shit. Don't ask for videos. If somebody in this session from tomorrow, next session onward, asks for videos, I will block him. Okay. Please don't ask videos. There is no video recordings for any session. You have to sit in the session. You have to ask the question. I will answer your queries, but don't ask for video recording. If someone asks me video recordings, training video recordings, I will block him. Okay. Okay. So again, somebody was asking me what is the sequence. Everything will be explained to you. Don't ask the end. What will be the end of the movie? Who is the killer? Everything will be clear. Just watch the movie. Today's first session. Okay. And make it a point that you concentrate on the session rather than typing and answering all silly questions. Concentrate. You can ask question related to diagram, task. I was answering. But then suddenly you will ask, what about tomorrow? Will we be having session or not? Tomorrow what time? Okay. Whether you will come in with an empty stomach or you will be full. Okay. All those questions will not be answered. Joking, man, you can ask questions, but don't ask silly questions. Okay, guys, so make it more informative. 150.1.7.0/24 and infrastructure network is 5.2.y.0. You will be having access to 99% all the device except for one device, that is switch 1 physical. Okay, good. Sure. So it is my mistake. Okay. So all the device will have access except, make a note, except switch 1 physical, you will have access to all the devices. Okay. Okay. Clear? So okay. So I was telling you that again, since people are asking what will be the sequence. So now how you're going to make a sequence? Okay. Simple. Instead of doing 1.2, you will do 2.1. Why? Because here also you have to type the IP address. There also you have to type the address. But in 1.2, you're typing address only for ASA1B. In 2.1, you're typing IP addresses for the other guy also. Because you're doing active standby, guys. If you are aware of security, you know how to configure ASA1B and what is the meaning of active standby. You know all those stuff. I'm assuming that. Okay. So if you know that stuff, you know how to configure ASA. So I will go and configure ASA1B. Now you must be confused. Which interface is your first interface? See, I told you about what? ASA 1, 2, 3, 4. I never told you about virtual interface, right? So just now I was telling you, I won't be doing section by section. Please. I will be doing what I feel is important in a sequence. Can we do the lab practice by session? Yes, we can do it. But then what is the use? You will first do 1.2, type the IP address, then you come back to 2.1 and you type the IP address for standby. Then how you're practicing it? You're first going there, then coming back, and again you're going back. No, don't do that. If I'm showing you one sequence, follow that sequence, guys. If I'm showing you one sequence, follow that sequence. Okay? Don't confuse yourself. Okay? Clear? So now, when I was thinking of configuring ASA1B, I just immediately saw the diagram. Okay, this is my internet H1. Can you see? And what is the task? 2.1. Now, I have to see the interface, but no, don't need, definitely you go and see the interface for virtual interface also. So when you saw the virtual ASA interface, you saw G0 by 0, G0 by 1. So now you go again, you go to diagram, again you go to notepad. No, don't do like that. You close your eyes and memorize one thing. Where is inside, where is outside? There is no DMD for ASA1. So which one is inside? So I always consider this as inside. Now you must be wondering why you are considering this. It is given in the diagram. G0 by 1 is inside, G0 by 0 is outside. But then for that, every time if you go and see, you're going to waste your time. So just consider this as I. Imagine, this is the I. So I means what? Side. So I said IP address 5.2. Again, there is a confusion. What is the IP address of inside? So again, what you're going to do? You're going to go and remember what the IP addressing schema. So I will tell you how to memorize this. 5. In this total scenario, you have this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This is the third, 5.2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, like that. Huh? 5.2.2. something, whatever. So forget this 5.2, that is common, but remember this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you must be wondering what is this man. So if you clearly see this diagram, you will notice that in this whole diagram where you have to do this task, you have this 2 year. Can you see? You have this 3 year. You have this 4 year. You have this 5 year. Then you have 6 year, 7 year. Okay. And then you have 8 year. 8. then you have 9 year, then you have 10 year, 11 year, and 12 year. So what I do when I am configuring 2.1, I just memorize 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now in this task, I need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the task here. And for that, I need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11, 12 is already pre-configured on sales PC and finance PC, so no need to. So 8, 9, 10, I have to remember. So what I do, when I am making my script, I consider 1 as inside. I'm just considering, don't get confused. 8.1, 255.255.255.0, and the standby IP address is 5.2. Interface G0 by 0. I consider this MO. So I just know that 5.2.10.1. Again, 9 is failover IP. So I know I have to skip that. 5.2.10.2 is my standby IP. They are clearly given in the task. You have to do that. Management IP address. Again, see what is the number, 0 by 0 or 1 by 1. Here you can use shortcut also. See. So what I do, I always close my eyes and say, okay, 1 is always inside, so I should keep the IP address 8. 0 is always outside as per the diagram, so I will keep it 10. My management is whatever. So interface IP please will show you 0 by 0, 1 by 1. And they have clearly asked you to configure what? 53 and 54. So what happened when I go with the task? Where is my task? Sorry, where is my document? Yeah. See, .53, .54, .1 and .1. The last octet of active and standby management interface is 151.7.53 and 54.1. So if I see the diagram, I will come to know that as per the diagram also, it is G0 by 1 as 8, G0 by 0 as 10, failover is 9, and then so I just say 8, 9, 10, that's all. 8, 9, 10 is for active standby and 0 by 0 is outside 0 by 1. Here also if you see this 0 by 0 means outside, 0 by 1 is inside. Clear guys? Yes, predefined, default ones, don't change it. But management, yes, you have to give 100, best practice. Okay? So today we'll not do the session. I was just showing you how to configure active standby. Now definitely failover LAN unit primary. Okay, you know these commands, right? Failover LAN unit primary. So go home. If you are not taking rack session, just every morning get up and do these commands on notepad. In office also you can write this. Failover LAN unit primary, failover LAN interface, any name. They are not given. F4. G0 by 2 is the failover interface. Now you must be wondering from where I got this. It is there. G0 by 2. Can you see? In the diagram. So 0 by 1 is inside, 0 by 0 is outside, and 0 by 2 is what? Failover. And what is the IP address of failover? 9. So simple. Write it down. 5.2.9.1. So every day you practice this 5 commands. Again, they have not asked you about stateful. So best practice. Consider 0 by 2 as a failure. Every day you practice this command, and I will assure you that somebody wake you from sleep also, you know the command of active, active and active standby. You know the IP address thing. You know how to configure the IP address. 0 by 0 means outside, 0 by 1 means inside, and 0 by 2 means failover for active standby, not for all the other tasks. I hope you liked the session. I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope it was informative. I hope you liked the way I teach. I explain the lab. Okay. And it's now 1 a.m. here. Tomorrow I have to get up. Okay. We'll be doing our next session on Wednesday. Guys, it was really